Hi guys, Ryan here with another wonderful episode of the Space Update. Coming up on today's show, we've got launch updates, Hubble is back online, and Blue Origin completed their very first crew launch with new Shepard. All that and more coming up, but right now is our new intro. Enjoy. Alright, so launch updates. ULA's Atlas V launching test number 2 as Starliner to the International Space Station on Friday the 30th of July. That one will be at 8 p.m. UTC plus 1 here in the UK. Also on Friday at 10 p.m, just a little bit later in the day, again UK time, we'll have an Ariane 5 rocket launching ESA's Eutelsat Quantum satellite, which is an experimental communications satellite, which is quite interesting. We'll bring more on that next week. So let's jump into our first topic, Blue Origin. On Tuesday, the 20th of July, Blue Origin successfully completed its first private flight with paying customers to the edge of space. On board was Jeff Bezos, his brother Mark Bezos, aviation legend Wally Funk, and bidding winner runner-up son, Oliver Damon. 18-year-old Oliver landed a place on New Shepard after the still anonymous 28 million winning bidder of last month's public auction said he couldn't make it due to scheduling issues. A few people are questioning the bid winner's actions on this, but I'm sure Blue Origin will place him on a flight at a later date. Further launches of New Shepard are scheduled later this year, 2022 and beyond, so expect a lot more of these launches very, very soon. On the subject of tourism in space, it's circling around in the media that the impacts on the environment will need to be assessed with an impending boom in anyone and everyone wants to experience the primary thrill of zero-G in space, but also experience that long talked about overview effect, which is looking down on Earth and coming to that self-realization of how small and precious our world is and the billions of lives that live on this little pale blue marble, tumbling all the way through space. As this story develops in the coming weeks, we'll bring you more. Maybe we could bring a few guests on to talk eco-fuels and the subject of the environmental impact, which is the impending space tourism, which is absolutely amazing. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments below. While you're there, hit that subscribe button. Give the video a like. A lot more exciting content coming very soon. We'll just jump on to Hubble now. On Friday last week, NASA announced it had successfully switched backup hardware on the Hubble Space Telescope, including power on the backup payload computer. The switch was performed to compensate for a problem with the original payload computer that occurred on June 13th when the computer halted, suspending science data collection and sending the science community into panic, thinking we'd lost Hubble essentially. The switch included bringing online the Backup Power Control Unit, or PCU, and Backup Command Unit Science Data Formatter, CU/SDF. These are terminologies that come in useful in a second. On the other side is the Science Instrument and Command and Data Handling, SI, or C and DH unit. The PCU distributes power to the SI, C and DH, stay with me, components, and the CU/SDF sends the format commands and data, if you follow that at all. But basically it was struggling to work and they've been making it work now. In addition to other pieces of hardware on board Hubble were switched to their alternative interfaces to connect to this backup side of the SI, C and DH. Once these steps were completed, the backup payload computer on this same unit was turned on and loaded with flight software and brought back to normal operations mode. The Hubble team is now monitoring the hardware to ensure that everything is working correctly. The team will then conduct some initial calibration of the instruments before resuming normal science operations, bringing Hubble officially back online. All this is great news and a massive relief, not only for NASA, but the science community around the world. But some other news, just quickly bullet point a few things before we wrap up here. NASA astronaut and former US Marine Colonel Doug Hurley is retiring from NASA, 21 years of service. His last day of the agency was the 16th of July, just not too long ago, last week. Hurley's career highlights include 93 days in space on missions that include the final space shuttle flight and the first crewed flight of SpaceX Crew Dragon, as we all remember that one. An incredible career and a massive contribution to the space industry. Next one up is China appears to have launched its own secretive suborbital space plane of some sort. Very little information on this, but everyone's assuming it's along the American X-37B space plane. But again, very little information on this, and as you know, don't know too much about that. Next one, NASA is seeking proposals for a program to support development of commercial space stations, but funding for this is still in question, so we'll have to see how this plays out in Congress over in America. Last but not least, SpaceX are pushing their booster on with their Booster 3 testing, and with the expansion of ground systems and the tank farm, the orbital launch tower we've seen there, it's pretty much done the essential frame and everything. Plus, that very first static fire was conducted with Booster 3, which is absolutely incredible. Check that out online for Lab Padre and the likes. We've got it live streaming up there. Absolutely amazing static fire. Hopefully, orbital or hypersonic test flight very soon, as stated by Elon. As he keeps saying, July. Well, July's nearly done, so he's going to be saying August next. So hopefully we'll see that very soon, that test flight, or something tested at least in the next month or so. But that's it for this week's episode. If you'd like to support what we do, head over to patreon.com/Total Space. And as always, like and subscribe right here on YouTube and Odyssey. That's all for this week's episode. I'm Ryan. This is the Space Update. Catch you next week.